Alright, you guys, so I just got into Orlando and I set it up with one of the guys that I've been blessed to become friends with over the years. Coming out here to Florida for the Honda meet, and hosting and emceeing these events has given me the opportunity and blessing to be able to see amazing builds from the Florida area, but become friends with these people as well. Roll with me right now as we go behind the scenes with the homie Omar, aka Aaaight. Let's go. What up, though?
What up, big Mike?
Yeah, okay. Omar, man, you just finished telling me one of them was that you're, grateful and thankful that I'm here. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you've watched the other ones, mm-hmm. I start with telling someone thank you for, starting or end the episode with thanking them because this is your personal space. This is your home, garage. But this is what behind the scenes for me really is spending time with somebody, behind everything else. People only see them and or their car after it's clean and washed and it's in a place, and this is at home, where, you can see work gets done,
Yeah.
This is where you wrench, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so here we are in your shop space, your home space. This is the car that everyone knows you for. Of all the communities, of all the types of cars, why the Honda Acura community?
Try to make a long story short, the main reason why I chose this, I saw this car, I was looking for a car, and I saw a red Civic Coupe. It was like a 94, 95.
Okay.
So when I got to the dealership...
Oh, what year is this?
This is 2006.
Okay, you saw a coupe.
So a red coupe, and the closer I got to it, the uglier it looked. I saw this car in the cut. It caught my eye, but the reason why I didn't approach it is because it had a license plate already. So when I got close, when the guy saw me, the salesperson saw me, he approached me and says, "Oh, you're interested in the car?" I said, "Well, I was interested in this one, but this is not for me." He asked, he's like, "Is there a car that you're interested in?" I said, "Well, it has a license plate, so it's right over there," and I was pointing at this car.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, you know what? The owner was actually talking about selling it today. We just had a conversation about it."
Yeah.
Coincidentally. So I was like, "Hey, I'll buy it or whatever it is." The guy comes out. We talk business or whatever it is, and then I came the next day and picked it up. I know I wanted a tuner car, and this is around where a couple of friends of mine had the Sentra Spec V.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of my friends had the SIs and the GSRs. I didn't know too much about it, but...
Why? Like, was it a movie? Was it magazines? Was it forums? Like, where did you get
the tuner cars?
Yeah, why Japanese?
Why Fast and Furious?
So the movie.
Oh, the movie.
Number one,
yeah,
the first movie.
Yeah, the first one, of course.
So that did it for you.
That created more of an open eye of tuners. Because I was into cars.
You were cars before.
I was into cars before, but I wasn't into... I couldn't tell you the difference between a 69 Camaro or any other specific cars. It was just, I knew I liked cars. I wasn't too much into it, but I just...
You just liked them.
I just liked them. And then more friends that were really into it got me more into it.
Okay, well, for example, when you were referencing it right now, you said 69 Camaro.
Yeah.
So was it American cars before?
Before, yes.
Okay.
Way before.
Muscle? Just classic muscle?
Yeah, muscle cars.
And you saw the Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, so Fast and the Furious, and that actually opened up to more of the Hondas, more of the Japanese.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I gotta interrupt the homie real quick. So those of you that follow on my personal IG here on the YouTube channel and stuff, you guys already know this. But for the new people, maybe I don't even know if Omar know this. I actually hate those movies.
I can see why.
I watched the first one and was so mad, not even so much at the movie, but at the way it made people act. I'm talking about people were peeling out of the parking lot in their mom's vans. Yeah. And as soon as I saw that, even at that young age, I was like, this is gonna cause a lot of problems. And I had no way of knowing how it would benefit the industry as far as the growth, but I knew that it was going to cause trouble, and it caused all kinds of drama.
Of course,
people not knowing how to behave and all that kind of stuff. I watched the first one, and I boycotted in my own mind that whole movie franchise until the 7th one.
Oh, yeah?
When, unfortunately, everything with Paul Walker. So I went and watched that one.
Yeah.
But 2 through 6, how many years that is, didn't touch them.
Yeah.
Hated them. And I just wanted to put that out there because this is an example of a positive effect of that movie. You got a person who got into the scene and the culture and ended up becoming someone who has gravitated towards quality.
Yes.
But it wasn't a snap of the finger.
Oh no.
Right?
Oh,
it started off with, okay, were you ever a ricer?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay,
oh,
tell
yeah.
us about that.
All right, so for an example, and my friends will roast me about it. When I was trying to buy wheels, right, the ones that I came up with was rotors, right?
Okay, and what year are we in right now?
This is 2008, 2009, right?
We're not doing rotors anymore.
No, we're far from it. Oh, hold on. If you want to
we got secrets. The Mag Blue tees. I rock with it.
I made the mistake again. My friends changed throughout the years, especially now that I was into cars, and I met this one gentleman named Noel.
Okay.
And he's real strict about quality and quality parts.
Yeah.
And when I told him, I said, yeah, I was thinking about getting these rotors. And he's like, rotors? He's like, yeah, these are real rotors. It's like, real rotors. I had to.
I can't believe that's a thing.
Yeah. And I
People
was
were like, these are real rotors.
Yeah. And I was that type. And again, I was naive.
Sure.
With all the parts, and then because of him and because of some other friends that I have, they actually educated me, which a lot of people should be doing, to be honest with you, to others instead of making fun of them over.
Oh, okay, I like it. I like that. So you made friends with some people who educated. That's what this is about right here. I mean, we're talking about X amount of years ago, but that principle and that concept still applies. Instead of making fun of people, why not provide them a method or content where they can be informed and educated? That's what this is about. That's what these stories are about. That's crucial. It's crucial.
Nah, don't get me wrong. They roasted me for a while.
Okay.
But it's between friends,
Yeah.
It's between friends. So I mean, if you can't take a joke from a friend, then
You're talking about 05, 06. You go to look at a coupe. You see this car, the whole process happens, and now you're talking about the movie and your friends, and how many years has passed now at this point?
At this point, I would say I'm at 2008, 2009.
So just a couple years.
Yeah.
And they're teaching you, they're roasting you, but teaching you.
Yeah, of course.
And you're starting to develop
constructive criticism.
So you're starting to develop taste and wanting authentic parts and gravitating towards that.
Exactly.
Okay, so how did we go from that to this?
The way we got to this, to be honest with you, was almost a heartbreak. My wife and I, we went our separate ways, and she's from another country. So I saved up a whole bunch of money because for her to go to visit her family, it's around $2,000 to $3,000, and then for me to go, it's another $3,000.
Sure.
And then for us to I'm not gonna travel like 36 hours to go to visit her family just to stay for a couple of days. We were planning to stay for about a week or two.
And when was this?
This is in 2014.
Okay.
2014, 2015, around there. This is before the car got painted and everything else. So since at that point, I was actually going to surprise her because I was going to send her to her country so she could stay there for a week, for a whole month, and then I was going to surprise her and come 2 weeks later.
Okay.
But since unfortunately that didn't happen and we went our separate ways, I poured the money that I saved up to build this car. Trust me, there's no regrets. I'm not regretting anything. After this was built, fast forward to things like 2 years ago, we actually got back together. We rekindled everything. My life actually got a little bit better. My financial got better. So I just kept on pouring money into it. So and it just keeps on.
How is she about the car world?
She accepts that I'm addicted to it.
Okay. Yeah.
It is an addiction. No matter what people say, it's an obsession to a certain degree, but the balance that I have between life and cars is something that I'm still learning.
Sure.
I've gotten a lot better. I was worse before, and then especially that I had a few years apart just to myself, and I dedicated a lot to this, and then going back to sharing my time with my wife.
Yes.
It was like, okay, let me try to put this aside and put more attention to this, even though this is almost like a drug to me and wanting to.
I mean, I get it, bro. I mean, look, you got that hood. There's the hood behind you. We got a couple valve covers, a few lips. The balance is, you're still trying to find the balance?
I'm still trying to find the balance. The good thing is, it's no matter what it looks and things like that. So I mean, there's other things I could have gotten that I didn't get because it would have thrown it off balance.
Sure.
I mean, a Mugen wing would look perfect, but I am not ready to dump that type of money.
Well, especially with prices now.
Yeah.
They're way up there.
Yeah, no,
I'm
not planning to do that. But yeah, it's just one of those things that she accepts it. She's okay with it. She knows this is why we picked this apartment, even though it's temporary, because she knows I can't live anywhere where I can't see my car.
Yeah.
If I can't step outside and know where my car is, you know,
of course.
I have video cameras everywhere. So
yeah, as you
my
should.
car goes, I know where it is, basically. So she knows I'm really, really, really attached to this. I had a conversation with a gentleman that offered me money in front of her.
Yeah.
And I had to turn it down. And she's like, no, you crazy? Like, no, I'm not.
Was it a real number? Like a number that actually made you think about it?
I told the guy, I said, you're going to have to overpay me because you're going to have to break my emotional attachment to it. So it's mostly attached, and my wife she at that point she realized, it really means something to me. At the end of the day, I've learned everything I know about cars. I've learned from this car, everything. That's why I'm so attached to it. Everything I barely knew how to change the oil.
Yeah.
And then going from being able to do that and doing my own research and help from friends and going from what I used to know to what I know now. This is my education. This is why I say it's real attachment to me. And that's why I kept it. I try to keep it as original as possible. Nothing that I can't reverse. I'm sure you'll see in a minute that you can't reverse certain things. But, you know, as far
You're
as...
talking about under the hood.
Yes. Kind of can, but, you know, it's going to be almost, you know, impossible to do so. But as far as the outside, right now I have 2 sets of leather seats that I could put in. I have 2 sets of GSR blades that I could put in, and it just looks like an original GSR. I can make it look original GSR within a few hours. You know, unfortunately, when you pop the hood, it's a different story. But you know.
And on that note, let's show the people.
Okay. It's a little dusty. I apologize.
We're talking about some of these things that you said can't be undone, but you're okay with that.
Oh yeah.
The outside, fine. You said you want to be able to go make it back to a GSR, but here you're okay with that.
Oh yeah, I'm perfectly fine. Even though there are some clean bays that are not shaped, look OEM, but I am perfectly fine how this turned out.
So what is your favorite part of the way you did your engine bay?
I'll tell you this. My favorite part is the AC that just recently got put in.
Okay. So you're driving here in Florida with no AC, and now you...
Oh, now I have AC.
And now you left.
The story behind that, if you guys know, your viewers know, Sue helped me tremendously. Sue from XMP helped me tremendously. We're getting the gentleman to paint my car, doing the brake tuck, and basically helping me out throughout the build. One thing I told him, and it took us about 2 years to try to figure out, I told him I want AC. Eventually I'm going to want AC, so that's how come I didn't plug that other part. Especially that I saw Downstar had this plate for it. Said I'm just want to keep it plugged, but eventually I want AC on.
Yeah.
So okay, fine. Fast forward to 2020. I told him, I said, okay, so what I want to do is run the lines. So the only thing you're able to see on the AC is just these lines, because unfortunately you can't block them. But I do not want to see any lines going to the firewall. That being said, he's well, you know, how can I do it? It's like, well, you know, you're the guy to know, so try to figure it out. Yeah. So I brought the car the first time when he found, his name is Davey, DC2 Creations. Okay. He makes these fittings for
the high pressure fittings.
For the high pressure fittings and whatnot. So he got those from Davey, and Sue just basically routed the lines, and he says, okay, I think I found a way to do it. So he calls me up, I trailer the car over, and finally got it there, and it's working.
Okay, and so when did you get it finalized and you charged it and you felt the cold air flowing?
What was it? It was May 5th. It was the first day I felt it really, really cold. Because before that, he had it all connected, and I would say like 2-3 weeks before that, he charged it just to make sure there was no leaks.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get the compressor to work.
Okay.
So going on and him doing his investigation how
Sure.
to work everything out, and found the reason why
Yeah.
it's not turning on. So he tells me, whenever you're ready, bring the car.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And so was a busy guy, so I was supposed to get it the week before. It couldn't happen and
Yeah.
whatever. And so we finally got to a date, brought it over. Happened to be Cinco de Mayo, and I felt that cold, and it was like, oh,
Hey.
man. It's an amazing thing.
Out here in Florida?
Oh yeah, I drive around this complex, even though I'm not able to drive it because of insurance issues, but not issues, but I'm not insured at the moment. But
Yeah.
I drive it around just to make sure it's still cold, and it's.
Well, that's important. I mean, you should run it often just to make sure it's all good. But
just to make sure. Yeah.
So there you go.
So it has no leaks. It's been cool. I traveled two hours just to get this hose, because I was gonna go to the drain hose. I was gonna get a regular hose and whatnot, but I was like, you know what? It's learn from having certain details, and you need certain details, because you could just put a regular hose and like, oh, it's just a regular hose.
Yeah.
No, there's certain details.
Learn from me?
Yeah, there's certain details.
I appreciate that little quick ass plug. I wasn't expecting that.
So hey, yeah. But yeah, I mean, another thing that's my favorite. I know you know him personally. Is the rye wire setup.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
the concentric twist.
Yeah.
Oh, you also got the plate.
Yeah.
So you got a rye wire harness.
The whole rye wire harness. It is just. The main reason I went with them, not only because I knew them from
like different builds and stuff,
other builds and stuff like that. It's just when I first bought the actual engine harness, I had an issue. I called them up, and I'm not sure who I talked to. I think it was DPK David. He said, hey, just send it in and whatnot, and then came back. He's like, okay, everything should be fixed.
Yeah.
He told me, just check this fuse, because you probably have something connected wrong. I checked the fuse. That's what it was. Customer service to me was.
So it was okay. So that really solidified it for
you. Oh yeah,
you.
the customer service. And so at that point, I was like, you know what? I do care, but I don't care how much I have to pay. I'd rather have good service and pay for the service. So that's my number one thing, and I'm a big supporter to everything. If they make it and I need it, I'm gonna get it from them.
Hey, shout out to the homie Ryan from Rywire, man. Okay, so
and whoever picked up that phone that day.
Yeah, probably David.
Yeah,
probably David. The Honda world, engine bays have become like the crown jewel, right? Everyone focuses on the engine bay. I've dabbled in a couple of engine bays. It's great to see the styles that people come up with, OEM plus. Crazy over the top, custom everything, or just one or two little custom pieces. There's all these styles, and we just had the Honda meet. That is a perfect example of in this world, Honda Acuras, how engine bays can be crazy, or they can be something like this. Like if somebody didn't know any better, they might not even necessarily know this is shade. Black is so kind of just calms everything down. It's almost pretty much unanimously my favorite color on any car, because it just looks classy when it's clean, it just looks so good, man.
But it's just hard to maintain.
But it's hard to maintain. So let's talk about this setup. So we got the AC, but why, for example, we got the rye wire harness, the rye wire plate, and how you feel about that company. But why, for example, this intake? Why those radiator hoses? Why this header? Stuff like that.
Okay, well, I don't know if you're familiar with RMF headers.
Yeah.
It was a while back ago.
I had an RMF header on my version 1 of my Prelude in like 2008.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
Yeah, I think you're one of them too that made me like this.
Oh, look into it? Very cool. So
before they stopped doing it, I ended up picking this one up, and I've had it for I don't know how long, but it's been in the car, and I cannot change it for anything else.
You just don't want to?
I don't want to. It's just because it's crazy. It's a nice look. I had ITBs, Kinsler ITBs before. I stopped. I sold that because of the lack of filtration. You know, and with all these rows that are being done and stuff like that. Now, yeah, I ended up going back to
a manifold.
To this manifold. The whole build itself, the pistons were done. The head was done. The head is all stung 2 parts.
I mean, yeah. So it's got a built head.
Yeah. Build head, build bottom end.
Now we're in an era where it's almost rare, if not pretty much officially rare now, to see a B, right? So why build a B when people could say, oh, you could have got a K20R for all that money?
I tell you, the reason why I have not gotten K, even though I've thought about it over and over again, is because this motor and transmission, head, and everything belongs to this car. This is a matching VIN GSR.
That's an underrated thing these days.
Yes.
That's a very underrated thing. Yes. Matching VIN, everything.
Yes. Yes. So this is an all matching VIN. Now, the reason why I started going, the interesting story about Spoon, the reason why I went with Spoon is because I had a small argument with Skunk 2. You know, after you buy certain stuff and everything else like that, that you're Skunk 2 certified.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that. So gave me that, and when I called about it, I said, hey, I haven't received my tag and this and that. Oh, it's on its way. Okay, so I waited 3 months or a few months or whatever. They sent it to me, and I said, oh, I thought I was supposed to receive a banner and everything else like that. And he came off really, really like wrong. I said, listen, I'm here trying to represent you. I've been building this and whatever. I can easily go to, have a whole bunch of Spoon parts.
Yeah.
I think I deleted the message. He says, oh no, that's too expensive. You'll never get that done. So, okay.
That's what the customer service dude told you?
Yeah. So I ended up sourcing out.
What the fuck?
Sourcing out a whole bunch of Spoon parts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to that Spoon valve cover. Unfortunately, it's not a real Spoon valve cover.
Okay.
It was close at one point, but I had a whole bunch of Spoon parts. Basically, the hose, the calipers. Also have I have it somewhere around here. Oh, here it goes.
Hey. Okay. All right. We are going to roll. That AC though.
I'm telling you, it's a must here in Florida.
Okay, so as we roll, man, I always want to take the time again to thank you for your home is a sanctity, right? There's like, that's your private space. That's where you lay your head, you know, family, the car, which is, you know, long been far beyond a hobby. It's part of what we do and what we love and who we are. And so, you know, being able to go behind the scenes and being able to spend time with you in that space, I want to say thank you for that. Thank you for watching the other episodes, the learning about other people. This is the most Florida shit I've seen in a while. That is the most Florida shit I've seen in a while. They're just chilling. Just chilling. Okay,
and
so
they don't move for no one.
As we cruise, man, I want to ask you, you know, from what you've read, who you've watched, who you've learned about, who inspired you, give us a couple of examples of people or crews or shops that have inspired you as you know, bettered yourself and evolved in the scene.
I mean, my friends, you know, the ones that I told you about, they're one of my biggest inspirations and biggest teachers of, you know, of this community, which I'm still learning from.
Yeah.
Shops, as far as shops, XMP, like I said, XMP has helped me. If it wasn't for him, I tell you, the car wouldn't be where it is now.
Yep.
And as far as like motivational people, you for being from Cali, because my car grabbed a lot of motivation from people from Cali.
Okay.
Like for example, PPK David, Hey Mikey is Mike. I don't know his real name, real full name, but his IG used to be Hey Mikey.
Yep.
Had the red Integra. He came out in Super Street.
All right, so those are some of the people that inspired you, shops, and what do you have? If you had one thing, my friend, someone else is watching it, they're 1 or 2 years, 5, 10 years younger than you. They just attended the Honda meet. They just saw this or that coverage, right? This YouTube channel, somebody else's YouTube channel, whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just like, oh, that Integra's clean, I love it, whatever. What would you say to somebody as just the most fundamental, useful piece of advice that you think would have helped you as a younger enthusiast when you got into it?
Find a balance with life and the cars. The cars is not going anywhere. Don't be in a hurry. At the end of the day, do what you like. You know, build the car how you want to. People are always gonna have an opinion about your car, no matter how clean it is or how you build it or whatever it is. It's just, at the end of the day, take your time and surround yourself with people that motivate you. Have the same vision as you, but respect your vision of the car or the build that you're trying to build.
There it is, man. Omar, listen, man, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the conversation, for letting us go behind the scenes with you and your build. I look forward to continuing to come out here as I host events like the Honda Meet and being able to continue to spend time with people like yourself that I feel blessed to have become friends with over the years. Not just about cars, it's bigger than that. You know, it's about community, it's about people. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming here.
You're welcome, my friend. And there it is, you guys. Omar, aka I'm Aaaight, behind the scenes. We'll see you guys on the next one.